Hey everyone, I'm from Figure Reviews, and I'm not here with a figure review, I'm here with a comparison video of these two figures. Now before I begin, this video idea has been done before by other YouTubers. I'd like to preface that because this is not an original video idea, and I do not want to take credit for something that isn't mine. So with that being said, let's continue with the rest of the video. Glad we could agree. Alright, so I'm going to be comparing these two figures. Reason being, I have both of them. They're both really good Phoenix figures, and they're good for their price point. Look, I kind of like shitting on Marvel Legends just as much as anyone else does, because they've been doing a lot of bullshit lately, to be honest. But there's no denying that this Phoenix figure is really damn good, right? Partially just because it's sand, in my opinion, right? But also, like, her articulation wise and her accessories do make her really nice. But overall, right, the mafex Phoenix for the price point is good too. So I decided, well, I'm going to compare the two in terms of, like, aesthetics. Like, how do they look aesthetically on a shelf or anywhere else compared to other figures, right? Not just Marvel, right? How do they look? I'm almost going to be comparing. I'm not going to really compare them on articulation because I don't feel like that's fair. Like, mafex is going to take that without a doubt. Like, she moves better, she feels better in hand. Like, it's, like, that's not a fair comparison, I feel like. Although, it's that, and everyone always does that. So I wanted to do something a little different. Instead of articulation, it's how many poses can you get with the accessories you get out of the box, right? Like, out of the box, what can you do with these figures, right? Without any accessories like that. Like, of course, she's going to be posed up with this, but she is not, right? And that's partially because she didn't come with it, right? And then last thing will just be price point, right? Aesthetics, posing, price point. Those are the three categories I will be judging these figures on. Alright? Now that being said, let's get on with the video for aesthetics. So aesthetically speaking, right, it's up to you, but for me personally, I like the mafex. Reason being is the gold is shinier. It's not like what Marvel Legends does, and because if you don't know, this isn't like painted on gold. This is molded gold, I'm pretty sure. Right? Like, this is not painted. It's plastic. Alright? But, what mafex does, she fell. That's always fun. Right? But this actually feels nice. Right? Like, it looks really good. It's very eye-catching. Out of the two, you see this one before you see that one. And that should say a lot, because personally for me, when it comes to aesthetics, I want a figure that right when I walk into my room and see my shelves, I want to see, and I go to my X-Men display, I want to see the figure that catches my eye the quickest, right? And that's her, right? She catches my eye the quickest, out of the shelf. Partially because she's the centerpiece, right? Like, she is the centerpiece of my shelf for my X-Men display. So, personally for me, I think she's better in terms of aesthetics. Also in terms of head sculpt, it's a more 90s looking head sculpt. Even her body sculpt is more 90s, like, in terms of the figure, right? It's more of a 90s body. This is like how women were drawn in the 90s, and I really like that. Right? Like, I really dig that they went accurately. Now, there is an argument to be had that most mafex figures look like each other. Like, for instance, the mafex Catwoman has a very similar body to this, if not similar. But, that's not going to take any points away from this Phoenix at all. Well, if we look over here at this one, it's more of a modern looking body, right? Like, it looks more modern. The colors are slightly darker. I really think if this one had lighter green, it would have been a tie between these two, because this isn't bad. I'm not saying this is bad by any means. The head sculpt is definitely better on this one than on this one. I will give her that. And you know, I wish they would have painted this gold emblem on her instead of that yellow emblem, but I get it. They wanted to be more comic accurate, right? But there are things I definitely like more about this one. But that being said, this darker shade of green really just doesn't do it for me, and it doesn't draw much attention to my eye, right? And ultimately, for aesthetic purposes, this isn't gonna be the winner, unfortunately. Okay, she's just gonna fall. All right, now let's move on to the posing. We're gonna be posing her first up. Hey everyone, welcome to the mafex Phoenix posing portion. And as you're going to see throughout these poses, she can pose really well, especially with the extra hands and head she got. Like, it really adds to her overall value and her playability, which I think will help her out a lot. Anyway, back to the rest of the video. Bye. Alright everybody, welcome back. And as you can see, the mafex Phoenix poses really, really good. Now let's see how our Marvel Legends counterpart will pose in comparison to her in her posing portion. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to the Marvel Legends posing portion of this video. And as you're going to see, despite her lack of accessories, that stand really carries her. Like, it really makes all the poses she can do really have an impact. And I think it's pretty good. Not bad. Anyway, back to the rest of the video. Alright everybody, and we're back. And as you can see, the Marvel Legends poses really well. Now, who do I think won? Let me see. That one's hard. But I'm gonna go with the mafex. And it's mostly because it comes with more accessories, like hand accessories. So it's just more expressive. And for me personally, as someone who does stop motion on their channel anyway, like, it's just very helpful, right? Like, it's just very helpful to have multiple sets of hands because it tells you a good directive of where you're going and what you want the scene to look like. So I'm gonna go with mafex on this one, right? And that's not saying posing wise she's not good. She is good. She's on that super articulated Marvel Legends body, female body, but she's just held back by her lack of hand accessories. Now, while her stand definitely does make her price point worth it, I don't think the figure itself and the amount of hands it comes with count. All right, like, it just limits posability for me personally. Now, that being said, let's move on to the next category, which is cost. This retails for about $50, all right? And this retails from last time I got it anyway, right? This is when I got it. It was $97, all right? I think at retail it was $80, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me, all right? So I'm just gonna go with the price point I paid, which is basically about $100. It's $97 over here and $50 over here, all right? Now, they're both good for their price point. There is no doubt about that. All right, like, she gives you 2 extra head sculpts, a bunch of other hands, a different stash, which also helps her pose better. It can get her into more expressive poses too. But, I really do feel like she should have come with some fire effects. Her, on the other hand, she comes with 3 accessories, right? 2 hands, 2 extra hands, and 1 head sculpt and a stand, right? I feel like out of the 2 of these, her price point is more justified than hers. Reason being is I can understand how that plastic Phoenix takes up the majority of the price point, which is why she only has 3 extra accessories. And the fact that they bothered to give her the super articulated female body from Marvel Legends is great to me, because they didn't have to do that, realistically speaking, but they did, and I'm glad. So I do feel like her price point is more justified than hers, right? Now, of course, if you can spend the money, This figure is fantastic, and I would definitely recommend you get it, right? Because it's definitely really, really good. And if you're someone like me who's in stop motion, this Marvel Legends is really tight, while this mafex, it's tight, but not so tight that it doesn't hold a pose, right? Joints are buttery smooth. But if we're talking like what you get and how the figure operates, it's kind of hard. So for me personally, I do feel like the price point on this one is more justified. At the same time, this is higher quality, and as much as I would have liked to see some fire effects, it doesn't take away from its price point in my opinion. So I'd say they're about tied on that category. So with that being said, my final thoughts are, because mafex technically won the posing, the aesthetics, because they won more categories, I do feel like mafex overall is the better pick. And that is not to discourage anyone who wants the Marvel Legends. The Marvel Legends is good. Okay? The Marvel Legends is really good. It's just in comparison to the mafex, for me personally, it just doesn't hold a candle, unfortunately. But with that being said, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I would love to know which one you guys thought was better. And what your reasons are. Now, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great rest of your day. I'm out. Bye.